All right, so we have a special one today. We have another arm day coming up, but this time I'm gonna go through just some of my favorite arm exercises, what works for me, what has changed since I started doing arms, which is, it sounds ridiculous to say, but I did make some changes where I saw pretty significant progress once I made these changes. So a lot of these exercises, well, not a lot, but a lot of gyms have this equipment. If not, there's other ways around it, but there's gonna be some things that I show you that are machines that are just a little different. They're very selectorized, and you can specifically do one portion, whether it's your bicep or your triceps. So I'll show you guys which ones I like, how to use them effectively. And honestly, just like what works or what has worked for me. It might work for you. You might not feel it at all, but it's definitely worth a try because I didn't try for the longest time. Tried something new and it worked out great. So another thing is just the style of arm workouts that I do, and the mindset going into them has completely changed for me. For the longest time, I was, which is not wrong, but hit every body part 2 times a week at the bare minimum. So what I was doing is I was doing chest and tris, back and bis, and then legs and shoulders, and then repeating that. So there was nothing wrong with that. I liked the workouts, they were working for me, but in terms of building my arms specifically, every time I would do my arms, it would be after a major body part. So I would hit triceps after a full session of chest. So I wasn't doing supersets and things like that. So again, that's just not optimal. It's like that's what I was doing. And so what I did to change it up is specifically have an arm day now. So I have a full day dedicated to arms where I'll switch between going to triceps or a bicep workout first. I'll do supersets here and there, but having the one dedicated day for arms where you're fresh, that's the only thing you're focusing on, it's been world changing. So if you're not doing that and you're lacking in the arms department, that's the first thing I would try is dedicate a day to your arms. Only focus on your arms, don't worry about any other body parts, and you'll see pretty rapid increases. And even if you're really lacking in the arm department, arms are one of the biggest muscle groups that can take so much wear and tear. Not to say to blow up your arms and get hurt, but the amount of volume and reps that you can do in a time period of a week is way higher than any other muscle group. So even to hit your arms like 3 times a week, not to go crazy, but aiming for like 30 sets, 25 to 30 sets total for the week per muscle group, sounds like a lot, but over 3 sessions it's not too bad. It's doable, but your arms will blow up pretty quick. But again, it's different. So you have to find out what works for you. So again, today, show you some of the things that have worked for me. Some of the machines that I feel, because I think that's the key to with any muscle group. But when you're doing the exercise, if you don't let's say you're doing squats, right? And you don't feel it in your quads, you need to find something else that works for you where you feel the burn in the muscle group that you're trying to work out, because that means that there's better workouts for you that is better to your body type, better to the way that you work out. And that's why you're there, to feel the muscles that you're working out build, and to actually feel like you're working something and doing what you're intended to be there to do. So if we're keeping on arms and you're doing easy bar skull crushers, right? And that's probably one of the easiest things to get the form wrong if you're moving your elbows, if you're not all the way locking out, if you're not getting full range of motion. So if you're not feeling that at all on your triceps and you're feeling it in your shoulders, or just not at all, you just feel like you're just going through the motions and moving around weight, then do something else. There's a ton of other things you can do. You could do dumbbell skull crushers. You could do over the head or overhead pulls with the cable. You could do a lot of other things where you might feel it more. Another thing that I used to like to do when I didn't feel it, just to get that mind muscle connection of where my arms are supposed to be, keeping my elbows in, is I would like to do skull crushers under a barbell on a rack. So I put the barbell like at eye level, and I would hold on to, and I could show a video of it when we get to the gym, but I would hold on with my arms or with my hands on the bar, and then I would just dip under it. So you're getting the full range of motion. You're standing, but it's a lot. There's a lot less, having to stabilize the bar, and you're just going under it and you're pushing back up. So it's really like, in your mind, thinking of it as almost like a dip, but you're vertical. So that's helped me tremendously, just to keep my arms in and just like feel the way that it's supposed to feel. So little cues like that too with exercises will help you. But there's a ton of different variations, and every gym is different for what you can do, what you have access to. So the things I'll show you today, specifically triceps. Another thing that I've changed is, when you think about biceps versus triceps, biceps are great. You think that it's the biceps that make your arm look big, which it is. Like, you need to train your biceps, but your tricep is 3/4 of your arm. So if you don't have big triceps, you're not going to get that full wide look in the arm that you're looking for. It's like, if you just go heavy biceps, your biceps are gonna look good. You're gonna have a peak, you're gonna have this and that, but your arms, in the overall scheme of things, will still not look as big as you think they were for what you are currently doing for your biceps. So like, if you're hammering biceps and you're only doing 1 day of triceps, you could be using that energy so much more effectively doing your whole arm, specifically focusing on triceps, not to eliminate the focus on biceps, but at least the same amount. I would even say more so triceps than biceps, but just so you can get that full look in your arm. And also, I tend to love a good tricep pump over a bicep pump, if I'm being honest. There's nothing like a hanging just slab of meat on your underarm, cut like a friggin' filet mignon. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on what I think you should do for triceps. But train them, and your arms will be just bursting out of the seams of your shirts. You're gonna have to go no more smalls up to mediums, or no more larges up to XLs. Only XLs. But especially coming up on the summer too, you got some big tries. That's what you want. Also, shout out Martin Luther King for having a dream, and my dream today is to get this workout done in an effective time and show you guys what it is. Will it be out today? Probably not. Probably a day or two. But I have off, which is great. A lot of people, I didn't have off last year. I don't know why some companies don't have off. I know there's like people that have to be on, but I am glad that I do have off, and I can go to the gym it's actually a little bit later than I wanted to. It's 3 o'clock, but yeah. Also, another thing, if you know what you want to do and what type of workout plan you expect to do it. And if anybody wants to start trying to do this kind of thing, and I am not, like, I don't do this, right? Like, I'm doing this now, but this is new to me, so like, I'm not, but it is such a mindset thing where your reoccurring thoughts in your head become your reality. So the one thing for me when I'm starting to like record and things like that and just do these videos, it's like, in my head, this is what I do. So I think that if you're starting, that may help you to change your mindset and then eventually it will become a reality. So now this is me. But yeah, so we're gonna get a nice arm pump today. We're trying a Christopher's Juicy Pumps. So Chris Bumstead, he said, thank mom and dad for good genetics. So he sent this to me in a package over Christmas. It said from Santa to Nick. And I was wondering, I was like, oh, this must be from Chris. And then he reached out to me. He was like, yo, dude, I just sent you my new non-stim pre. So I'll give it a try. So shout out Chris Bumstead for the gift. And also, if you're seeing this, how are you? But yeah, so I think we're gonna have a good workout today. I hope it's not crazy so I can get some good footage of the actual machines that I want to use, because they're usually taken. But if not, I'll wait to show you guys. But yeah, we'll get in there. Starting off here with one arm dumbbell preacher curls. So we're doing 4 sets of 10 reps each arm. I like to start every arm day off with this bicep movement just because this is my weakest exercise. So I know I'll be able to go through this with the weight that I'm trying to push without being fatigued for the rest of my workout. Key here, as you can see, my elbow is constantly in contact with the pad for the arm that I'm working. So just a cue to keep in your mind to keep the bicep engaged. And also, you don't have to go all the way up. I'm stopping about 3/4 of the way up, because anything past that, your bicep's doing no work, so it's a waste of time. Now we're straight into our first tricep movement. So this is close grip barbell bench press. So you could do this on a Smith machine or not on a Smith machine. I prefer to do this on a Smith machine, so it's just one range of motion. I don't have to stabilize the bar, and all I have to worry about is pushing my elbows forward and then extending all the way up. So here we're doing 4 sets of anywhere between 8 and 10 here. Next, we're doing another bicep movement. So this is one I like to do as well that I feel hits my arms quite good. So this is different from regular rope curls. It's behind, the rope is behind me, the cable's behind me, so I'm doing 3 sets of about 15 here. And these are just hammer curls, so I have the neutral grip, and then I'm going all the way up. So high volume here, but this really does get a good pump on your biceps. Right over from that, another tricep exercise that a lot of people don't do. So this is one of the ones I was talking about earlier. This is overhead press with a tricep pushdown bar. So you could see it's like an angled tricep bar. It's almost like a triangle. So you can see it right there. But I like to do this a lot. This works the long head of your tricep. So it's very tough to get the right form here. So you can see my arms are kind of flaring here. I would like my arms to be a little bit, or my elbows to be a little bit closer in, but I feel this quite a bit too. I do 4 sets of 12 here. Back to biceps, probably one of a fan favorite. So just straight up dumbbell bicep curls. I like to do seated to eliminate any swaying. So here we're just doing 3 sets of 8, nothing crazy, but an old school staple that always does the job. Now this is one of the most underrated tricep exercises. Again, this is what I was talking about earlier. If your gym has this machine, use it. This is a machine tricep extension. Again, like preacher curls, keep your elbow on the pad at all times, fully extend out. So right here I'm struggling, but I literally only feel this in my tricep. So this has done wonders to grow my arms. So if you have it, try it. And we're doing about 4 sets of 10. Next, we go into our one and only superset of the arm exercise. So this is a superset of dumbbell skull crushers. So you see I get into form here. I like to pin my shoulders back and go from there. So I'm starting off with dumbbell skull crushers. I'd like to go down to about my ear. So again, trying to keep my elbows as close as possible here. Still a little bit flaring. But we're doing 3 sets of 8 here. And then right from skull crushers, we're gonna go into hammer curls. And that's your arm day for you. Save this video, subscribe for some more content.